Hello, I'm Mark Hall-Patton, administrator of the Clark County Museum System, and today I'd like to show you our outdoor classroom. This is an area where we have 3 different Mojave Desert ecosystems in one area that you can wander through, see the different kinds of plants that you would see as you were in the different parts of the Mojave Desert, but you can see them right here at the museum. As you walk through the outdoor classroom, you'll see a number of different plants where we have explanatory messages just telling you what the plants are. All the plants that you see in here are native to the Mojave Desert. This one, for example, is the desert willows, one that likes to have water in its area, and it's a very good way of finding out whether there's water in an area when you're out in the desert. One of the other things, of course, when we think of desert plants, we always think of those plants that have needles. Choya, in this case the silver choya, is one of those kinds of plants. It's also known as a jumping choya, not because it actually physically moves, but if you get anywhere close to this, it will break off pieces and get into your skin. So when you see a plant like this, leave it alone. Just look at it from a distance. You don't want to get close to it. As you're walking through the outdoor classroom, especially in the springtime, you'll see some of the plants begin to flower. We have our beaver tail here, and you can see the flowers are just beginning to open on this. As you walk around, some of the other blossoms that you might see, this one down here is a pygmy barrel cactus. You don't see too many of those, but it is quite a lovely blossom. The yellow behind it, that's a creosote bush, and this is actually also known as the creosote desert area. These are native plants, and in fact were native to this part of this property when it was just an outdoor area before we reconfigured it into the different Mojave climate zones. And then over here next to our upper pond, we have penstemon, or scarlet bugler. This is one of the plants that you'll see many times along the side of the road. You might not recognize what it is, but it's got quite a lovely bloom, and this is the time of the year that you'll see them out. Throughout the outdoor classroom here, we do have a little water feature. Riparian areas are something that are very important in the desert. The riparian area is an area where you have water. Now these are 2 plants that really like water. We've got an acacia here and desert broom here. These are ones that would be much smaller if they weren't right next to where the water is here, but you can see having the water close by, their roots are coming in here and being able to drink as much as they want, and they're taking advantage of it. One plant that is always identified with the Upper Mojave is the Joshua tree. We do have some of the Joshua trees here, but we also have some sort of very delicate plants. The fairy duster here, which is in bloom right now, and of course a little bit more of the Apache plume. Another thing to be sure and look for as you're walking through the outdoor classroom are the wide variety of animals that are here. We have 4 different kinds of hummingbirds, we have 3 different kinds of doves, we have quail, we have 2 different kinds of rabbits, 4 different types of lizards, and at least 1 snake species. Don't worry, it doesn't bite, it's only a constrictor. As you walk through the outdoor classroom, there are a number of different trails to take. You can wander at your own pace, and here at this end of it, you can get up a little higher and kind of get an overlook of how the area is put together. It is a wonderful area to walk through. It's a nice way of getting a chance to see some of the plants that you might see out in the desert today and find out what they are and what is native to this area. So we hope that you'll be coming out here and spending a little time wandering the outdoor classroom.